All right, Nick, let's talk about Miami Hurricanes undefeated. They're looking really, really strong. There's a lot of talent on this roster. Honestly, so much talent. I don't think they can necessarily get it all on the field at the same time unless they start to be creative and get some guys involved in some really interesting roles. I think they did just that this past weekend, showing they've got a budding star in at a new role. Getting him some reps on the football field, I think, is only going to lead to good things. I'm Andrew, and this is Saturday Morning Inspection. All right, Nick, as I alluded to, the Miami Hurricanes, interesting move here. They got a key playmaker out on the field in a little bit of a different role. It pays off, and it looks like this is going to be really key for them going forward. Let's get into the article and we talk more about it on the other side. This is from over at the Sun Sentinel. It says, when the Hurricanes needed a touchdown to take the league, the momentum back from the Duke Blue Devils, they turned to a freshman tight end, Elijah Lofton, who displayed his ability to run the ball in University of Miami's spring game. He lined up between quarterback Cam Ward and running back Damian Martinez and took the handoff from Ward. Lofton, listed at 230 pounds, pushed his way through a group of Duke defenders and crossed the goal line, putting the Hurricanes ahead with a lead they never relinquished. It's really fun, Lofton said. When the ball's in my hands, my job is to do the best I can do with the ball. He's only played 118 offensive snaps this season, but Miami coach Mario Cristobal said that's largely attributed to older tight ends like Elijah Arroyo and Cam McCormick and Riley Williams getting more playing time. He says he gets lots of touches in practice, Cristobal said. We have really good tight ends, and we're getting the ball spread out a little bit. And our guys touch a little bit on Saturday. Is he trusted? 100%. That guy's one of the best freshman football players I've ever been around. Comes from an awesome program in Bishop Gorman. Coached the right way, raised the right way. His mom's an incredible person. And what you get from him is a very diligent, professional approach to the game. He's in every package we have, and you'll continue to see more from him. I think this is all extremely high praise from head coach Mario Cristobal. I think we see the trust there. And I think we're going to start seeing Lofton using a couple of different packages, as alluded at the end of this article. Curious what your thoughts are on all of this, Nick. But before we get to you, Miami fans, in the comment section below, big game this weekend. I want to know, is the addition of Lofton going to boost this offense over the moon? Are they going to score a million touchdowns more? Let us know what you think the final score to this weekend's game is in the comment section below. Does Lofton help him out, or is it going to be the status quo, which is still pretty dang good? But anyways, let us know your thoughts on the final score in the comment section below. But nonetheless, Nick, what do you think about this move by the Hurricanes?
Look, I think it's obviously smart to keep developing the freshman, to keep a guy who's obviously a top flight recruit, right, coming in and getting him involved. Because guys like this, big name guys like this, it's an unfortunate reality in today's college football world. If you don't play them, a lot of them like to transfer, right? Just is the way it is. They got so many calls coming at them, NIL money, this, come here and start right away, that. It's just the reality. So getting a big time prospect like this kid here, getting him some action early is just smart. But the fact that he's a matchup nightmare, and that's what he really is, and he's a breakout star for this Miami Hurricanes team, just gives another layer. Because obviously, as good as Cam Ward and this Miami offense has been, they basically, I don't want to say they're not unique, right? They don't have something that just makes opposing defensive coordinators just like, we don't have the personnel to match up. Right now, the Miami Hurricanes are winning just on sheer Cam Ward is just redunculously good, along with a few other guys having a really nice season, right? I think Cam Ward, I think, is the runaway favorite to win the Heisman Trophy. Travis Hunter, I love you at Colorado, but I think you got to go Ward right now. The running back, Boise State, he's a great story too. But I don't know how you don't pick Cam Ward down in Coral Gables. He's been absolutely ridiculous. But outside of Cam Ward doing ridiculous, crazy things and operating at such a high level, the Miami Hurricanes have been lacking a little bit of that matchup nightmare. The guy who can just line up in weird positions and do things where personnel groupings for the opposing side don't know how to handle them, right? And we see this time to time. I go back to the Florida Gators Urban Meyer programs, a guy like Percy Harvin, different position, different style, obviously. But when you have a guy like that, just that matchup nightmare that just can flip what opposing defenses can do based on the personnel package, right? If Miami comes out and you've got a tight end position, Lofton, like, oh, he's going to line up in a tight end or wide receiver. He's going to run a route. And he lines up at fullback and gets the football. Running back gets the football. You're not prepared for that defensively, right? It just screws up entire personnel packages, right? You can go out there, for example, with 4 wide receivers in Lofton, and opposing D coordinators will say, okay, that's 5 guys. They're throwing the football. And then suddenly you got Lofton in the backfield and you can run inside zone. Right? This is what these matchup nightmares can bring opposing defenses. And this is what the Hurricanes are going to need for the college football playoff run specifically as they play great teams that have time to prepare. They're going to need matchup nightmares, and I'm excited to see that Lofton has become one.
Yeah, Nick, and this reminds me a lot of a surprising player who was at the University of South Carolina. He moved on from South Carolina to a rival of the Miami Hurricanes, the Florida State Seminoles, and then is now in the NFL on the New England Patriots. That's none other than Jaheim Bell. This guy was a tight end. He was a big dude, 6'2", 240. But what did he do in college all the time? They got him on the field, lined him up as a running back. He was very productive as a runner at South Carolina, did a lot of great things at Florida State as well. In New England right now, he's already, scored a touchdown for them. So he's not getting a whole lot of touches, but he's a threat nonetheless. So I think that this is a really interesting comparison to me. I love Jaheim Bell. I love what he's able to bring to an offense. You kind of even saw when he left South Carolina, they took a pretty big dip. Losing a playmaker like him, it was really, really hard to come back from. So I think using a guy like Lofton in this manner, he can be really productive as like that multi-role threat, as you say, that tight end, receiver, but also be able to line up as a running back. Can be really, really dangerous going forward. I think it's going to add a lot to Miami's offense. And I think this is the kind of move that when you get it going down the stretch, this is what can win you games in the college football playoff. Having a player like this, getting him out on the field, and having other teams not knowing what he's going to be able to do, not knowing who's going to be in what packages going forward, that confusion, that's what's going to help you win games in the playoff.